Hello everyone, Michael here from Part-Time Gamer, Full-Time Dad with a too long didn't read guide for World of Warcraft. This time on the block it's the Mistweaveer Monk, so let's just get into it. A quick warning before we do start, this is simply a basics guide and my recommendations for a new Mistweaver Monk looking to get a feel for the class. Now, there are two ways to play Mistweaver, however in this episode I will only be covering the basics of actual mistweaving and not fist weaving. Tune in later for that. With that being said, we're going to start off with the suggested talents as these will impact the playstyle the most. At level 15, I would suggest Chi Burst, as it does a decent amount of healing if you can line up a few targets and also adds a bit of free damage. At level 30, I would suggest Celerity, as it's entirely passive and gives you an extra roll charge. And hey, rolling, it's just fun. Level 45 will depend on whether or not you're going to AoE heal or single target heal. For AoE healing, you'll want to use Life Cycles for the mana saving, and for single target, Mist Wrap will be more beneficial. For level 60, it's entirely up to you. I would, however, suggest Leg Sweep for the extra crowd control. Level 75 is pretty situational, but a good staple is Healing Elixir. As a mana-free heal on yourself, you can't go wrong, and it works in all situations. Level 90 will again be AoE versus single target. With that in mind, Invoke Chi-Ji the Red is a good default for its throughput. If you're specifically single target healing, Summon Jade Serpent is very strong. Level 100 will be Mana Tea as a staple for 50% decrease in mana cost on all healing spells. This is huge on longer fights where mana can become a serious issue. Now, for the stats, you're going to want to look for these stats in the order that I will list them. First up is obviously going to be Intellect. It's a primary stat. It's going to be on all of your gear aside from your jewelry. Second, it's going to be Critical Strike, which gives your heals a chance to heal for twice the amount. Third, it's going to be Versatility, which increases all damage and healing done by a flat percentage, as well as gives you a bit of damage reduction. Fourth is going to be Mastery, which causes your Effuse, Renewing Mists, Enveloping Mists, and Vivify to also heal the primary target for an extra small heal. Finally, it's going to be Haste, which lowers the cast time of your heals, as well as your global cooldowns. For your gems, you're going to want to aim for the 200 Intellect in one socket, and 150 Critical Strike in all your remaining sockets. For your relics, simply you're going to aim for the highest eye level that will give you any type of healing increase. The enchants you want to go for will depend on the slot. For your neck, you're going to want Mark of the Ancient Priestess for the free healing proc that it provides, 200 Intellect on your cloak, and 200 Critical Strike on both of your rings. For your consumables, you'll want to use the Whispered Pact Flask for the increased Intellect, the Hungry Magister Food for the Critical Strike, and the Leytorn Potion for the mana regen. Alternatively, you can use a Mana Potion if you're uncomfortable using Leytorn. Also, you can use the Potion of Prolonged Power for a cheaper option that will give you a slight increase to your overall healing. So now let's get on to the basic playstyle of the Mistweaver. So again, it's going to be dependent on whether you're going to be single targeting or AoE healing. I generally try to focus tanks and throw out the AoE heals where and when I can, so I'm going to break it down like that. First thing, you're going to want to make sure you're using Renewing Mist on cooldown. This will be one of the major heals as it bounces around to other hurt party members when your current reaches their full health. You'll want to make sure that you keep Enveloping Mists up on your tank that is taking damage while using Effuse for more direct healing. If you see that your melee is also taking a lot of damage, replace Effuse with Vivify for the AoE. If your whole raid is taking damage, you want to make extensive use of Vivify and then throw in Essence Font here and there. This can become very mana intensive, so you want to make sure you're using your Mana Tea when this happens. Chi Burst should be used on cooldown as it can provide very good healing and, like I said, that little bit of extra damage. However, you may want to delay it a little bit so that you can make sure you have your priorities for healing lined up in a row. Your artifact ability, Sheilun's, probably mispronounced that, Gift, should be used as a big heal when your tank is really low. It builds up charges throughout the fight and has a long cast time, so it's not super reliable. However, that heal, if it has 12 stacks, can be huge. Your cleanse ability is called Detox. You're going to want to make sure to read a bit about each fight so you know when you're going to need to use it. It removes magic, poison, and disease effects from your target. Thunder Focus Tea is probably the most useful spell you have that isn't a heal. Instead, it empowers your next heal. I'm not going to go over everything it does, so check your spellbook for all the different bonuses. As for cooldowns, Mistweavers definitely have a couple to take note of. Life Cocoon is a single target absorb shield that while it lasts, increases your healing on the target by 50%. Revival is an AoE healing cooldown that will heal the raid and remove any magic, poison, or disease effects. You'll most likely be using this primarily for the healing. So monks have great mobility with roll and it should be used to avoid mechanics. You can also use Transcendence to do this, which will teleport you over large distances provided that you've set it up before the fight. And with that, we reach the end of the Too Long Didn't Read guide for Mistweaver Monks. If that was at all helpful, consider hitting that like button, maybe leave a comment if you're feeling frisky, get subscribed for more videos like this in the future, and hit me up on Twitter at PTGamer_FTDad. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and may your heals flow smoothly.